Laziness is the mother of all bad habits. Laziness is a comfort zone. It's your choice to break free or remain its inhabitant. Whichever it is, a mother you ought to respect or walls to be grateful for. All excuses for laziness are useless. It is only a means to delay blessings. We all hate going back to work after a break. We're too bored to do nothing yet too sluggish to dive back in. School seems redundant when the internet has answers to everything. Sure, the early bird may get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. No matter how many clever excuses we come up with, we must pay for everything in this world, one way or another. You'd think the vacation is the reward for your bravery and hard work, but even the vacation itself must be paid for. There is nothing free, except the grace of God. What is re-entry anxiety? Before diving back into the work grind after a blissful vacation, you might find yourself plagued by anxious thoughts, worries, and maybe even a few headaches. Kind of like your brain's way of saying, do we really have to? Some call this re-entry anxiety, others the post-vacation blues, and a few dramatic souls might even label it post-vacation depression. Why do we feel this way? Well, after days of living like a free-spirited nomad, going back to a strict routine feels a bit like being dragged out of a hot spring and thrown into an ice bath, especially if you're a hardcore otaku who's been binge-watching anime and is now expected to engage in something called reality, whatever that is. Feeling blue and dreading the return to work? Totally normal. Don't worry, the gloom is temporary. In 1 or 2 weeks you'll be back in the swing of things. Until then, there are a few tips that can help make the transition from carefree vacationer to responsible adult a bit smoother, or at least less painful. Leaving in a hurry. Were you so excited about your vacation that you slammed your laptop shut like a kid running from homework? That might explain why coming back feels like trying to ride a bike through quicksand. Trying to remember what on earth were you doing before. You'll be juggling new tasks, catching up on missed emails, and trying to remember where you left off. Cue the stress. To avoid this chaos, plan your return before you leave. A quick to-do list or a note on your desk can make all the difference. Future you will be grateful. Future me is always such a grumpy one. Making a harsh transition, we all want to squeeze every last drop of our vacation, and sometimes that means postponing the trip home until the very last minute. But being in the air 8 hours before your workday starts, not exactly a genius move. Your mind and body need a break before jumping back into the daily grind. Instead of treating your return like a race to the finish line, plan to give yourself at least a day to decompress, unpack, and relearn your colleagues' names, or at least pretend you remember. Jet lag is just one hurdle. Giving yourself some buffer time lets you ease back into reality without feeling like you've crash landed. Future you will be grateful for the smooth re-entry. Start over. Before your vacation or your epic escape into a virtual reality, you were riding high on a wave of productivity fueled by the momentum you'd built up. But now, you can't just jump right back into it like nothing happened. I guess that's why they call it momentum in the first place. Your vacation might have changed you in ways you didn't expect. You might even walk into the office and your coworkers won't recognize this new version of you. Like Neo after discovering the Matrix, with a tan. But swinging too far to the new you isn't great either. The key is balance. Embrace the wisdom and experiences from your vacation. But don't forget the life and the productivity hacks you had at home. Find that sweet spot where both worlds coexist. Don't stay in your shell. So you're back from your vacation having updated your Slack status like Garfield, wondering why Fridays are so close to Mondays, when Mondays are so far from Fridays. Feeling the urge to go full hermit mode as soon as you're back. It's tempting, but closing yourself off and trying to navigate the post-vacation chaos solo isn't the best move. If you want to ease back in and get up to speed on what's new, the secret is simple. Just talk to your colleagues. Not only will you catch up on the latest office gossip, or news, whichever is relevant to you, but you'll also make the day fly by faster, tackling everything on your first day. So you've made a to-do list as long as a scroll from an ancient manuscript. What's the next step? It's grind time, right? Hold your horses. If you think you can cross everything off on day 1, think again. You're setting yourself up for a spectacular faceplant. It's highly unlikely you'll finish everything in one day, and even if you somehow manage to, you'll be burning on fumes faster than you can say burnout when you have just resumed work, and it's less likely that you will smile anymore. Walking in someone else's flip-flops. Following advice can be useful, but blindly adopting someone else's approach is like trying to squeeze into their flip-flops. Might look odd and feel uncomfortable. Before you step into someone else's shoes, take a moment to consider what actually fits you. Reflect on your own needs, values, and desires. That way, you'll avoid a wobbly walk and find the right path for yourself, rather than just mimicking someone else's stride. So whatever you're battling, the post-vacation blues or trying to navigate the treacherous waters of re-entry anxiety, remember this: transitioning back to work doesn't have to be a total disaster. Embrace the chaos with a bit of humor. Take it one step at a time and don't be afraid to lean into the changes. After all, just like every epic anime saga, this phase too shall pass. Give yourself the grace to ease back into your routine. Balance the old and the new, and don't forget to keep in touch with your colleagues. As you navigate these first few days, remember, even the most challenging transitions can turn into a surprisingly rewarding journey.